And good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good people of the tube. Hope you're well today, hope you're feeling grand, and all is well in your world. Hello there, everybody. Today, everybody, I have this tiny little baby amp to show you. Looks like a lunchbox, but you won't get a sandwich in there. It's a bit too small. Not quite. Well, you might get a sandwich in there, but I don't know. You might squish it, and it might ruin the sandwich, which wouldn't be good. You know, go for dinner for your sandwich, and it's all squished. Not cool. Anyway, amp. This is a Joyo Bantamp. I'm guessing that's how you'd say it. I don't know. But this is the Joyo Bantamp JaCkMan. Or JCM. You didn't see that. Look at this. Look. Just look. Certain letters are highlighted in the JaCkMan name. What do they spell? Very cheeky. Very cheeky indeed. Anyway, this is a 20 watt... it's like a hybrid amp. There's a little preamp in there, ECC83 or 12AX7. Is it an ECC? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just one little preamp. It's just like a hybrid. So you got solid state and valve working together in harmony. So this is a 2-channel amp. You got clean and overdrive. You got 3 dials on the front. You got gain, tone, volume. On the back you got an effects loop, which is really cool. I don't know why I went cross-eyed then. Did you see that? Why did I do that? It's bizarre. So on the back you got an effects loop, you got headphones out, which I haven't tried and don't care to. I don't like headphones out. I can't wear headphones, they freak me out. You also got a speaker out. Today we're going to be running into the JaCkMan 900 cab. 16 ohm. It's 8 ohm minimum on the head, so I'm running it at 16. Which probably won't give me full power, but it's loud enough. This thing is ridiculously loud. I think I said it's 20 watts, but yeah. So it's very simple. You know what I mean? You got gain, tone, volume. But it is 2 channel, but you can only have 1. You know what I mean? There's no channel select on this, which I think is a bit of a oversight. Is it an oversight or is it a fault? Well, I can't remember which one it is. But basically, you know, that's my phone. I do apologise. Basically, like, they maybe should have added an ability to have like a foot switch so you can flick between the 2 channels. I don't know. Maybe that. I don't know. Who knows? But that would have been quite cool, I think, to have something this small with 2 channels. Anyway, so you got a clean and overdrive channel. A really cool thing you've got on the back of the amp. You've got like a little antenna, like a little aerial, and if you flick this switch up, you can engage Bluetooth, which means you can kind of wirelessly beam backing tracks to this amp if you sync your phone up to it. And so you can beam kind of backing tracks to this amp, and they'll come through the speaker, and you can kind of alter the volumes and stuff like that through your phone. And that's really cool. I mean, I'm not going to do that because me and technology don't get on at all. So, but that's a really cool feature, and I like the way the LED, the power switch LED, goes from red to blue when you flick it on. So, you know, ridiculously cool. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I'm not going to use that because technology, no, thank you. So, very simple, gain, tone, and volume. This thing is loud. It's very loud. The tone is really, really cool. The gain dial is really cool. It's got quite a lot of gain in it. Not oodles of gain. I've never used that word before, oodles. But it hasn't got tons and tons of gain. But it's a very, very classic, you know, Marshall-y tone. You know what I mean? It's that you know, hence JCM. But it's got that kind of sound to it. It's really, really cool. So yeah, so just quickly to say a couple of things. This amp did not like my pedal board at all. It really was like, no, I'm not doing that. But thanks to the Zoom G2, I was able to get it balanced, because what was going on was I was getting too much low end. There was so much bass that it was just like there was no clarity of sound. It was just like low end sub bass, and it was really unpleasant sound. I could hear the sound, but it was being overwhelmed by the low end. So, excuse me. What I did is I went into the Zoom G2 into the EQ section and just basically turned the bass down. Excuse me. I got it to -6, and basically just cut the bass, and that kind of like, you know, that brought the sound back with this thing. But bear that in mind, people with the tube. If you do go for something like this, you might need something like an EQ pedal or something like that just to EQ it in. But saying that, I have played this with just standalone pedals without all this lot. Like I have run certain what did I run into it? I can't remember what it was. can't remember which pedal I ran into it now. Can't remember. Sorry. I did run... It was an overdrive pedal. Oh, the Blues Breaker. Clever Dave. Yeah, the Blues Breaker pedal. I ran that into it and it was fine. So, you know, there was no low end or anything. It just boosted it. But it really didn't like the governor with the kind of the deep dial. Even when I turned the deep dial down. But saying that, when you turn the deep dial down, the governor, it doesn't sound as good, I don't think. So I didn't like that. So I didn't use the governor at all in the intro jam. I just used the DS2 and the JaCkMan. But yeah, it was a bit finicky. It did take me a bit to kind of like, you know, find where, you know, not a bit. It took me a couple of seconds to kind of like, you know, turn the bass down and find where it kind of wanted to sit. But other than that, you know, it is cool. But this amp to me is an amp that you go to overdrive, you crank the gain. I don't know where you put the tone. It, you know, varies. I mean, I think I have the tone all the way off as usual. And basically just doing it from your guitar, you know what I mean? And it's that kind of amp to me. It's like, you know, it's an amp where you forget the clean channel and you just kind of like crank the gain all the way up, the tone kind of, you know, wherever you want it kind of thing, and just basically control everything from your guitar. And if you wanted to run like a delay or a boost or anything like that, you can do that. Also, you can run it in the effects loop as well if you want it clean as a whistle. So it's really cool. It is really, really cool. So yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to unplug the pedal board, as basically what we're going to do, we're just going to get loads of different guitars and we're just going to plug straight into the thing. The sounds are going to be as dry as a bone because there's no reverb, but, you know, I kind of like that in a way because that's that kind of old classic style thing. I'm not going to like it on the clean. In all fairness, I don't like the clean channel on this amp. It's too clean. It's like the clean channel on the CR120. It's not my happy place. It's just too clean, and it doesn't. To me, it doesn't have a lot of character. I'll show you what it does anyway in a minute when I plug in. You know, when we go straight into it. But I'm not a big fan of the clean channel. But the overdrive channel, yes, thank you very much indeedy, is wicked. So anyway, so without further ado. Let's get on with it. So the Joyo Bantamp, I'm guessing that's how you say it, or Bantamp, I don't know, that thing. JaCkMan, let's go for it, shall we? Let's see what we can get out of this thing, and yeah, let's get a couple of different guitars plugged into it and see where we go. We'll start on the clean channel though. We will get kind of clean out the way first, but the overdrive channel on this thing is where it really shines. I feel personally, I don't really, you know, I don't like the clean channel. It just feels a bit sterile. I was using it for my pedal board at the beginning. Because the overdrive channel didn't quite work, unfortunately, and the clean channel worked better. But I think that was the problem. I think that's where I was getting the bass low end problem from. Anyway, all was okay. And so yeah, let's crack on, shall we? Making some noises. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we've got it all the way up on 10, everybody. And I also realised, if you notice the footage got lighter, I had the wrong filter on the camera because I'm clever. Anyway, but like I've got to say, I mean, this amp being 2-channel, yes, it's a cool idea, but it's totally pointless in my opinion, because you can just go to the overdrive mode, crank the gain, and do everything from the guitar. So, and it cleans up really nicely. So the clean channel is kind of normal, but it's just really uninspiring as well. The clean channel, I feel, on this is this thing. Clean channels are really difficult to get right, I feel, and I don't know. It just feels kind of pointless on this little thing. So anyway. What we're going to do now is we're going to crank it to 10. So gain on 10, we're going to leave the tone all the way down, and then volume all the way up on 10. See what it sounds like. Ha ha! Right up, here he is. I'm going to stand over here. Okay, now I'm officially totally deaf. That is so loud for such a small thing. That's why I stood over there, and that's why I didn't do it for too long, because it is extremely loud. But this amp is really cool. But I've got to say, like I said, I do have some little hang-ups on it, criticisms, if you will. The whole 2-channel thing, very cool, but totally pointless in my opinion. Like, you know, the whole idea of you can't channel select. You have to go to the amp and do it, which is kind of pointless. I think this would have been a better amp if they just had the overdrive channel just as is, because you can get a really cool clean tone out of the overdrive channel. But in all fairness, you just crank it and do the volume thing. But you can, if you run the gain really low, you can get a really nice kind of cleanish kind of tone. Not my favourite way to run it though. I don't. It's a good tone, but it's not for me. If that makes sense, it just makes sense to me to just kind of wind that gain all the way up and just kind of do the volume on the guitar down to get clean. And I like the clean. When you roll it back, it sounds great. But I say the whole clean channel thing, I don't get that. It's kind of like, maybe because, just a pedal platform thing, but it's kind of killing two birds with one stone. I suppose that's what it's there for. But I definitely prefer just to kind of like the overdrive setting. You know what I mean? It seems to work. It just sounds ridiculously awesome, that overdrive channel does. It sounds so good, and it's so loud. I mean, in a pub or a noisy place, I could see that would get lost even on 10. I don't think that's gonna kind of, if you mic'd it up, it'd be fine. But if you were just kind of going off backline, I don't think this would be quite. It's not quite there loud. It's not quite that loud. If I mean, it's loud in here because it's a small room. But if in a bigger area, I think you would struggle with it. It's definitely a home use amp. This is in recording. This is going to be really fun for recording certain things. I've got ideas already. So again, just Overdrive channel. Just that classic kind of 70s rock kind of sound. You know, well, saying that with a 335 thing, it's got a kind of Eric Clapton-y blues breakery thing as well. So really cool. I'm just going to unplug this. It's driving me a bit mad. Getting in my face. Okay, so yeah. But yeah, this amp's really cool. It's a cool little thing. It's simple. It does what it says on the tin, really. You know what I mean? But it is a really, it definitely. I can't really recommend this for kind of live use or backup amp. If like if that this kind of thing. It's just a home use amp, to be honest with you. You can get like a little 1x12 cab and stuff like that. It'd be really cool. And again, with the whole Bluetooth thing, where you can switch it so it engage. You can beam stuff to it. That's really, really cool. So you don't have to have a lead to it or anything like that. Which is very, very cool. But yeah. Other than that Overdrive channel is fantastic, I must say. The Clean channel, to me, is dull and uninspiring. But the Overdrive channel redeems this amp in every way it possibly can. It's just a classic Marshall-y, late 60s, early 70s tone. Takes certain pedals well, certain pedals finicky. But it works though. You can get it to work. You know what I mean? It's not kind of like, oh my god, this is never going to work. It's just a case of you just got to kind of like, you've got to alter things for the amp, if that makes any sense. Which, to be honest with you, I don't particularly like doing, but because I'm a bit of a creature of habit. So I like it when things are the same, and when things have to change, it kind of like bothers me. But anyway. But yeah, so other than that, though, really, really cool little amp. I really like it, and it's just good fun. It's just good fun. Yeah, it's a giggle. So anyway, this is the Joyo Bantamp JaCkMan JCM. It says it there. Why? Just don't do that. Draw attention to yourselves. Anyway. Other than that, really, really cool little amp. Love the Overdrive channel. Clean channel, not so much, but it's really, really cool. Just crank the gain and put the volume up and do everything from the guitar. It's a lot more fun. It's a great blues rock amp. You know what I mean? It's a really cool blues rock amp. As a clean pedal platform, yeah, it's okay, but beware the low end, my dears, because it's really prominent for some reason. Again, especially for people like me who like to run the tone really low. I don't like running the tone high. I mean, I've never got the tone on this amp to halfway. The highest I got was on the intro jam, and it was like 10, 11 o'clock place. Other than that, I don't like the tone cranked. I don't like the sound of it. It just sounds fizzy and waspy, and I didn't like it. But yeah, Overdrive. Yes. Thank you very much indeed. Excellent. Anyway, yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this vid, people of YouTube, and I will see you again on Monday for another vid. It is Monday, right? I don't know anymore. I still don't know what even month we're in anymore. It's weird. So anyway, yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you again. Have a great morning, afternoon, and a very good evening. And goodbye now, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye now.